Have you ever heard the sound of your own consent? Not the words, not the decision itself, but the sound. A click. Somewhere right behind your left temple. Small, fast, unnoticed. You aren't just watching a video right now. It wasn't your decision to click that button. I clicked it for you. You sincerely believe that you choose what to have for breakfast, what to wear, whom to trust, how to vote, what you, for God's sake, actually like. But think back. When was the last time you said no, and it was truly your no, not dictated by fear, not caused by exhaustion, and not tailored to someone else's expectations that you were simply afraid to disappoint? I'm going to show you the architecture, the code that every human in your circle is running on, including you. This isn't magic. It isn't manipulation in the cheap sense of the word. This is pure engineering. In programming, there's a concept called legacy code, obsolete code. Written decades ago, understood by no one, yet the entire system still rests upon it. People are afraid to touch it. It just works. Your brain is legacy code. Millions of years of evolution have hardwired your firmware. Fear the unknown. Obey authority. Don't waste energy thinking when you can survive on autopilot. This isn't your weakness. It's optimization. Your processor can't analyze everything, so it created shortcuts, triggers, auto-replies. You see a white lab coat, and you believe without question. You see a countdown timer, and your hand reaches for your wallet. You hear the phrase, "Only 2 spots left," and your rationality goes into emergency mode. The advertisement didn't trick you. Your own code did. These triggers are open ports in your system. Every human carries a list of their vulnerabilities. Most just have no idea it's a list. And this is where what I call the payload comes in. Useful load. In cybersecurity, it's a command hidden inside a harmless file. In conversation, it's an intent hidden inside a casual phrase. You don't say, "Do this." You say, "I wonder how a person with your experience would handle this situation." And the person with their experience can no longer say no, because you just assigned them an identity. An identity is the deepest layer of human code. People are willing to die for their self-image. 3 protocols, 3 tools of seizure. Listen closely, because once you understand them, the world will never look the same again. Protocol 1, the double bind. The illusion of choice is the oldest trick in the architect's book, but most people use it with the grace of a sledgehammer. The question, will you buy it or not, is a tactical failure. It gives the brain a chance to say no. An architect never gives the brain that chance. Instead, we use the double bind. Would you prefer to settle the terms now, while we have the momentum? Or would you rather finalize the paperwork first thing Monday morning? In both scenarios, you have already conceded. You are already inside the transaction. You are already mine. Your brain is so busy choosing when to comply that it forgets to ask if it should comply at all. This is the bypass of the critical filter. You don't ask for permission. You design a reality where permission is already a foregone conclusion. You aren't forcing them. You are simply guiding them through a corridor with only one exit. Protocol 2, identity labeling. Most people believe they have a personality. They are wrong. People are nothing more than a collection of labels they desperately try to defend. Tell someone, "You've always been such a man of your word," and watch what happens. They will go to incredible, even self-destructive lengths, to be honest, in the next conversation. Not because they want to, but because the alternative is a collapse of their internal map. To act against a label is to commit psychological suicide. This is identity anchoring. You don't persuade a person to take an action. You persuade them that this action is the only thing a person like them would do. You apply the label like a brand on their skin before you even make the request. I'm coming to you because you're known for being someone who can see the big picture where others only see the noise. Now, they are trapped. If they refuse you, they admit they are small-minded. Their own ego becomes your most effective prison guard. Protocol 3. The architect's pause. Silence is pure, unadulterated pressure. It is a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. Most people cannot tolerate a dead stop in a conversation for longer than 4 seconds. At the 5-second mark, the brain begins to panic. It interprets the silence as a social threat, a glitch in the interface. To stop the discomfort, the victim will begin to fill that void. They will offer confessions you didn't ask for. They will give concessions they hadn't planned. They will say yes, just to make the ringing in their ears stop. An experienced architect knows, after the key question, you must stay absolutely, terrifyingly silent. Let the pressure build. Let the silence weigh 10 tons. The person across from you will eventually break and fill that vacuum with the very truth they spent years trying to hide. Silence is the only tool that works harder the less you do. I hear this question constantly, whispered in the shadows of the grid. Is this manipulation? Is it even ethical? Let me ask you a different question. Find me a single page, a single line in the global criminal code that punishes the strategic use of language. Find me the law that forbids asking a question in a specific sequence. Find me the judge who can sentence you for staying silent when someone else feels the need to scream. There is no such law. There is no such judge. Because what I am describing is the very fabric of human communication. It is the air you breathe. Your parents used it to mold you. Your teachers used it to direct you. The algorithms you stare at for 12 hours a day use it to own you. The only difference is that they are all firing blind. They hit your triggers by accident, like a child playing with a loaded gun, and then they act surprised by the carnage. The architect is the only one in the room with his eyes open. We don't act on instinct. We act on intent. We don't guess. We calculate. A criminal takes what he wants by force, leaving behind scars and evidence. But an architect creates a set of conditions so perfect, so seamless, that you give him everything you have. Your time, your loyalty, your will, and you do it with a smile on your face. You walk into the cage and lock the door yourself, convinced that it was the most brilliant decision you ever made. That is the legal void. The law can regulate your hands, but it has no jurisdiction over how I rewrite the map inside your head. Knowledge isn't a crime. It's the only way to stay at the top of the food chain. One last thing before the session terminates. During these last few minutes, I haven't just been talking to you. I've been practicing on you. Every word, every pause, every term I introduced was a protocol in action. I opened with a question that stripped you of your autonomy and assigned you the role of a passive observer, and you accepted it. I gave you a new vocabulary, legacy code, payload, the grid. And like a good subject, you installed these filters over your own eyes. You are seeing my world now, not yours. I used the architect's pause, and I felt your pulse quicken through the screen. And now, as we reach the end of this update, I'm sticking the final label on you. You aren't a tourist. You aren't someone who stops at the surface. You are the kind of person who craves the hard truth, no matter how cold it feels. You are the kind of person who is ready to stop being the infrastructure and start being the one who designs it. Subscribe, because the next episode goes into the deep tissue layers of human connection. We will break down how to build fanatical, unbreakable loyalty. We will redefine trust as a structural vulnerability. Dark code. Update complete. The system is now online. Session terminated.